Scott Perry is here, the Pennsylvania Congressman, sits on the Oversight Accountability Committee, many more. He's a former combat pilot, retired Brigadier General. He's the real deal. You don't mess with him. Congressman, always good to see you. Obviously, Israel is continuing this campaign. The White House is continuing to try to dial it back. Israel is doing what it's doing. The White House is obviously saying what it's saying. But Benjamin Netanyahu pretty clearly not paying attention to them. What do you make of that?
Well, this is what I make of it. Thanks for having me, Neil. Benjamin Netanyahu knows that that Joe Biden, while the rhetoric is out there, the rhetoric doesn't match the deeds. And Benjamin Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, knows that. And so this is what Iran knows as well, that the rhetoric doesn't match the deeds. While Biden has said he wants to turn down the temperature, looking for a diplomatic solution, he's funding both sides of the war. And not only is he funding both sides of the war, he's only chiding, he's only chastising, he's only demanding that Israel relent. He's not doing the same of Iran or its proxies. Iran knows this. Netanyahu knows this. The Israelis know this. They know that they're out there on their own on this one, except for the rhetoric. And this rhetoric is only because of Biden being in office and because of the impending and looming election. President Biden has to work for and with Kamala Harris to make sure that they don't hemorrhage any more of the Jewish vote. But he's walking a very fine line because there's an anti-Semitic wing in his party that demands that they support Hamas, Hezbollah, and abandon Israel. And so he's walking a very tight line. Iran knows that, and they are increasing the pressure. Israel knows that, and they're taking advantage of the half-hearted attempt of Joe Biden and this administration to actually support Israel. They're saying it, but they're actually not doing it. And quite honestly, everybody in the world knows it.
I'm curious then what that means for this response to this Iranian missile strike back on October 1st. It does seem that the Israelis might wait for that response till after the U.S. election. What do you think?
Well, I don't know that they're going to. I think Israel might telegraph one thing and do another. Of course, the element of surprise is very important. But this is what Israel knows as well, that they know that Joe Biden, no matter what happens, is going to be in office into January. And they've got a hot war on their hands right now with terrorists breathing down their necks and sending rockets and missiles into their civilian population. So they cannot wait to defend themselves. And what will be worse for them is if there is a Harris victory. And so they have to hedge their bets on what they do now versus what they might have to do later after, if there could be a potential Harris victory, and having to deal with the same lukewarm response and lukewarm support from America that they've gotten this last year. And so I think that the Prime Minister and the War Council is going to act on Israel's best interest in that regard and with that in mind.
We'll watch closely, Congressman. Thank you. And thank you for your incredible service to this country as well.